It's Wednesday, September 27th, 2017. I'm your host, Sarah Beal. Thank you for joining us. We have a great show in store for you today. We'll start things off with Deputy Chief Matthew Sonnabend. He tells us about an arrest they made last week. Recently, we went out to Hyannis Golf Course and got an update on fall golf with Director of Golf Operations, Bruce McIntyre. And finally, we'll check in with Airport Manager, Bud Brialt. But first, let's get a look at today's top headlines. Inspection and maintenance work will be performed on the Sagamore Bridge today, Wednesday, September 27th, from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. During this time, one travel lane heading on Cape will be restricted for work. One lane heading on Cape and both travel lanes heading off Cape will remain open for travel. No wide loads will be permitted to cross the bridge when lane restrictions are in place. The town was recently gifted with a statuette of the Korean War Memorial. Maureen McKay and her son gifted the statuette this week to the town after attending the recent Korean War Memorial program. Mrs. McKay's husband Al was a significant participant in the creation and fundraising of the Korean War Memorial at Veterans Park Beach in Hyannis. Mr. McKay passed away earlier this year. The town is grateful to the McKay family for this generous donation. Do you or someone you know want to become a firefighter? The Barnstable County Fire Chiefs Association will be holding their firefighter entry-level screening exam on Saturday, November 18th. The exam is for full-time firefighter EMT and firefighter paramedic positions. Registration will close September 30th. You may register online by visiting www.eventbrite.com and searching Barnstable County Fire Chiefs. The cost is $70. The town of Barnstable and Cape Cod Healthcare are once again partnering to host another blood drive at the HYCC. The drive will take place inside Cape Cod Healthcare's Bloodmobile on Friday, September 29th from 10 to 4 p.m. Everyone who donates will receive a gift certificate from Cumberland Farms. There is a desperate need for blood, and you can all be assured that the blood that is collected will stay on the Cape and be used for care for local residents. Up next, we'll hear from Deputy Chief Matthew Sonnabend. Deputy Chief, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
No, it's really great. Nice to talk to you again.
So we were going to talk about, you guys had an interesting arrest last week. You had a traffic stop that kind of went a little off the rails. What can you tell me about this?
Officer Kevin Fulham, he's our new canine narcotics officer, was driving around the area of the mall, and he saw a car that had committed some traffic violations, had some things wrong with it. And so he went to go stop the vehicle. It didn't pull over right away, and he could see that the driver was kind of moving around and messing around with the glove box. And then the car finally stopped. It was kind of in that road that runs between the movie theater down by Macy's and heads over towards Sears, where that little pond is. And he walked up to the car and was talking to the operator, got him out a little bit, and then the guy took off and started running and ran through the woods. And he chased him into the woods, but lost sight of him when he jumped into the pond there. Obviously, the officer couldn't chase him into the pond right then and there, so we called for some backup, and they got some people stationed around the perimeter of the pond, so the guy couldn't jump out and run down the street or get away. So we knew pretty much where he was. Had a canine down there and tracked him down to the edge of the pond, but couldn't find where else he was. And this was like about 6:30 at night or so, so it was dark at the time. By the time everybody got out there, and what we used was we have a drone that was purchased for us by the Blue Coats of Barnstable, and we've used that drone to do some other things, searching for missing persons and mapping traffic accidents, but we really hadn't had the opportunity to use it in like this foot pursuit scenario. So they went to the station, they picked up the drone, and Detective Connolly brought it down to the scene, and the drone is equipped with regular cameras so you can look regular video and take regular pictures, but it also has a FLIR system on it, which is a forward-looking infrared camera, which detects heat, so it can see in the dark and really well. So you can pick up the heat signatures of people or vehicles when they're hiding in the dark, even though no matter how dark it is, even if there's no light whatsoever, it can pick them up. So they brought the drone down and they started flying it around the edge of the pond. And if you look at the video, initially you can see on it where cars are. You can see the red around the engines of the cars, and then you can see it moving over towards the pond. And as it's panning the camera around the pond, you can see the heat signatures from two people standing on the edge of the pond. Those are the officers that are standing on the edge of the pond waiting to see if the guy's going to come out of the water. Well, down by their feet, about 10 feet away, you see a little tiny red dot. And that little tiny red dot underneath a bush in the water was this guy just kind of poking his head out of the water, waiting for the police to leave so he could sneak back out of the water and make his way on down the street. Well, they brought the drone down, and they were able to talk the officers down the hill to where the guy was hiding and found him in the water and arrested him and brought him back. And it was pretty serious because eventually they found in the car when the guy had fled from was some money. But even more disturbing was where he was messing around with a glove box. They found a loaded handgun in the glove box. So we don't know what he was trying to do, whether he was trying to hide it or what. But thankfully everything turned out all right. We found the bad guy. Nobody got hurt, not even the bad guy. Brought him back to the station, and he was booked and brought to court.
Wow. Well, while you were talking about it, we showed the drone footage, and it's it's amazing seeing the different things that kind of light up with the heat on them, and then like you said, you see the two officers, and then you can see down like just like you said, there's like a little tiny red dot on the bottom right near the water's edge, and it's like, oh, okay, there he is. That's him.
Amazing because a few years ago there was a person that had jumped in that pond and drowned.
Yep.
And, so we don't know. When the guy jumps in the pond, you're interested in catching the bad guy, but you don't want to have to turn this into a tragic event either, because even though they're running away from you, you got to be concerned with their safety as well. Did the guy make it out of the water? Is he stuck in there? We need to get him assistance.
Right. Does he know how to swim?
Or we just arrested him. So we don't know at that point. So all the options are on the table there as far as what's going on. Is he hurt or is he just hiding? We don't know. So we can't just drive away and leave him there. We got to try and find the person, or at least figure out whether he got in or got out. So, and without that tool, it would have been, we would have had to call for somebody with a boat. We would have to try and get a boat in there somehow, and maybe divers to start looking around the edge of the water to really make sure that there was no one stuck in that pond.
Yeah.
And just really shortened out the whole thing.
What a wonderful tool that you guys have. Have you been able to utilize the drone with the FLIR on multiple occasions?
We have the FLIR system. We've used it quite a bit more during the day. It works really well during the day, and we've used it for a couple of different missing persons cases to try and obviously search. It can search larger areas far more efficiently than people can, because it can sit up there with a camera, and you can just look around and move it around larger parcels area, especially places that really aren't accessible by foot very readily. So if you can get that drone out there, you can have a few officers that are stationed around the outer perimeter kind of locking an area down, and you get the drone up and you can fly it around an area and figure out whether or not you really need to send somebody in there, or whether or not it'd be more efficient to put them somewhere else, So it really straightens a lot of things out. Plus, like I said, we use it a lot for traffic accidents and stuff, where we can put the drone up. It can take a picture of an intersection or a street, so we don't have to close that street down to take measurements all day long and divert traffic. It can just go up, take a picture. We can put that information into a computer with one measurement, and it plots everything out for us. So it makes that a lot more efficient as well, a lot more accurate.
That's really great. What a great tool. So
it is. It's awesome.
Thank you to the Blue Coats of Barnstable for helping you purchase this item. I mean, it's going to be a great tool for you guys to use in the future. Another item that we want to talk about is some of the departments going up on Friday to Boston for the police memorial for an officer from Barnstable that died quite a few years back. He had a heart attack on the job. What can you tell me about this?
Yep. Officer Eddie Landers went to a call out on the north side, which is out by Route 6A. I think it was in the area of Kevanny Lane at the time, and was arresting a subject and suffered a heart attack in the course of arresting this person, and unfortunately passed away. In this whole scenario, kind of, I don't want to say it was forgotten, but kind of faded into the history of the BPD. And recently, a lieutenant, Mark Cabral, was looking through the history of the BPD and came across this and was wondering why, even though this person had died in the line of duty and everything, it hadn't really been recognized or really, brought to anyone's attention. And so he filed some paperwork and went through the process, and in the spring got Officer Landers' name added to the police memorial down in Washington, D.C., and a couple officers went down there for the official service and everything. But Massachusetts also has a fallen officer memorial up in Boston, and recently he also completed that process to get the name, to get Officer Landers recognized and his name added to that memorial as well. So on Friday, a group of officers are going to be going up for the ceremony, a reading of the names, and the addition of the new names, unfortunately, to get added to that memorial, because it just seems as though those lists keep growing every year, and hopefully one day we won't have to add any more names. But
Yes.
until then, we'll keep adding the names and remembering these people.
It's a great way to remember people. You know, you don't want these people to be forgotten for all their hard work and their sacrifice to the job. So I think that's really great, and kudos to Mark Cabral for taking this on.
Yeah, it's incredible. He took the initiative, and I'm very thankful that he did. It's excellent, an excellent effort on his part, and it's awesome.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. I look forward to talking with you again next week.
I look forward to it as well. Have a great week.
You too. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. My guest today, Deputy Chief Matthew Sonnabend. Coming up, we will check in with Airport Manager Bud Brielt, but first we will head out to Hyannis Golf Course and learn all about fall golf with Bruce McIntyre. We're here at Hyannis Golf Course with Bruce McIntyre. He's the Director of Golf, so we're going to talk about fall golf. What can you tell me about fall golf this time of year?
Fall golf is a must.
Yeah.
Fall golf can't be beat. The temperatures are nice when it's not raining. The course conditions are better in the fall than they are in the summer. It's just a fantastic time to play golf if you can get out. It doesn't look very busy around here now, but we're expecting a large outing later on in the day.
So it's going to be very busy.
Going to be very busy. September and October are outing months. Hyannis will probably see 10 to 15 large-scale outings. When I say large-scale, 150 plus participants coming from all over, not just around the Cape. Many people are coming into town. They're staying in our hotels and they're eating in our restaurants, and they're helping the economy at the same time. We do large food and beverage functions here, as well as golf. And days like today, this is what fall golf is all about.
Yeah, you can't beat it, especially it's September, October. It's you're getting in those lower temperatures during the days. Upper 60s, low 70s. It's got that'd be when I would want to golf if I was a golfer.
We see, as we do in the spring and May and June, in September and October, we see the same thing. The traveling golfer, not just the pass holders. The traveling golfer is much more apt to come down to the Cape and play a number of different golf courses over a course of a week. And this is also outside of outing season, it's golf packaging season. We do a ton of work with a number of different hotels and motels and run golf packages, and they get their hotel and come and play golf. And we're very busy with that as well. So it is the time to be here if you're a golfer.
That's great. I know right now you have a new member special going on.
Yeah, we started this a couple of years ago as a kind of a perk to get people interested in Barnstable golf and to maybe dangle that carrot to get them to come on over and join. In the month of October, and starting pretty much right now, we're offering essentially 18 months of golf for the price of 12.
Wow.
So if you join now up into the month of October, you can play for free until March 31st of 2018. Your membership or your annual pass starts April 1st and runs to the 31st of 19. We've been doing this the last few years, and it's been a real good way to kind of sway people who were maybe on the fence to come on over and give us a try, and our retention's been excellent.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's a great deal for everybody.
Yeah, you can't really beat it, and depending on how the winter goes, I mean, you could be golfing in December, January, February, fingers crossed.
Cape Cod has that reputation of being the home of winter golf. Hyannis Golf Course is open year-round, except for when it's buried under snow.
Right.
So there is the opportunity, and just in the month, of October, if we have good Indian, summer weather going into October, November, you've got your money's worth already. So.
And there are people out there that are,
Absolutely.
diehards that will want to get out there.
A lot of people will come and play the course or each course a couple of times, like them. They may be new to the area or non-residents who are coming in to give us a try. And when we offer this, it makes it a whole lot easier for them to say, you know what, this could be my home next year. Like I say, the retention after them joining the first year has been excellent. So we'll keep most everybody.
And the Hyannis Golf, the building itself, has gone through a couple of renovations over the last year.
Yep.
I know that you have new bathrooms, you have this beautiful new deck on the back of the building. So, if you're not a golfer, you could come out, have some food.
Well, I mean, at both golf courses, with the clubhouse renovations, the view from the restaurant at either course and the deck at Old Barney, sunset. Great place to sit back and enjoy the view, relax, maybe watch a few skydivers jump out and fly by. But you don't have to be a golfer to come over and enjoy, and the scenery can't be beat.
No,
it's pretty.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yep.
Both courses are amazing, and you guys do such a great job here. So.
Well, we try. We've got a good staff out there, and you know, this is what we're here for.
Great. And if people are interested in finding out more about what you guys going on, what's the website that you guys use?
www.barnstablegolf.com.
Great.
Yep.
Bruce, thank you so much for joining us
You're very
today.
welcome. Thank you.
My guest today is Thank you so much, Bud, for joining us today. We have so much to talk about. Barstow Musil Airport, very busy. You guys are finishing up some construction work right now.
Yes. Good morning, Sarah.
Morning.
And we're in the process now. Within the next 3 weeks, we should be completely finished with this major reconstruction of runway 1533. Tonight, sometime in the middle of the night, maybe by 5 o'clock in the morning, we should be finished grooving the runway. So every runway has to be completely grooved to prevent hydroplaning of airplanes when they're landing or taking off on the runway, because that would decrease their maneuverability type of thing. So that will be completed tonight, and then we just have minor painting that we have to redo on the runway, both runways, and those projects should pretty much be completed by then. We put in a brand new emergency generator and removed an underground storage tank yesterday, which was wonderful, and no pollution, which is even better.
That's great.
And then we're working on a new slurry seal coating to put on the main terminal ramp. It's about 300,000 square feet, and that's going to take us a good week or two because of trying to phase it so that we don't interfere with flight operations as much as possible.
Yeah, you don't want to mess those guys up.
Yeah, so that's the culmination of a project that we actually started over a year ago, but the construction didn't really start until March of this year, and we've been going ever since March, and it's been quite an inconvenience and quite a trial for everybody, and we certainly want to thank everybody for putting up with us as we went through this, from the changing of air traffic patterns around the airfield to disruption of services on the airfield and that type of thing for all of our tenants and the people in the surrounding community. So we want to thank everybody for their understanding.
How often do you pave new runways?
Well, runways don't get
runways.
paved totally like this.
Okay.
Maybe once in every 20, 25 years.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a long time, and we're going to try to do the other runway, 624, probably within 2 to 3 years, because it is already beginning to reach the ends of its useful life.
Okay, so this is the big part of it. You do this every, 20, 30 years or so as needed, but then in the meantime, every once in a while do you reseal it, that kind of thing?
Oh, we reseal it. We do crack repairs. We do, modifications if necessary. It's regular. It's pavement, even though it's a little bit higher grade than your standard road pavement. But it does get cracks. We have to go out and seal the cracks and just keep the runway in a good state of repair. We have to paint it every year for the FAA, and so it's a constant maintenance issue. But the major reconstruction, thank goodness, is only every 20 years.
Oh, that's good. Seems like a lot to take on.
Yes, it's a major project.
Yes. So I know that coming up tomorrow night is a big event at the Barnstable Municipal Airport. We have the Cape Cod Young Professionals Back to Business Bash. They're going to be right in the terminal.
Yes, this is the second year here at the airport, and it's their 11th year of doing the bash, and we're very happy to be their host. Last year was their 10th anniversary, and they did it for the first time, and we found that we could do a little bit bigger. So this year they're expanding from, I believe it was around 500 was the cap last year, and I believe this year they've already sold out 750 tickets, so that's a wonderful thing.
Wow. That's a lot of people in the
airport
airport
terminal. That's a lot of people. But if you have a ticket, come on down and enjoy it. I think everybody will have a good time.
Now, does this affect any airplane traffic that might be happening tomorrow evening, people that are coming in or planes that are going out?
It won't negatively affect it. We do have a couple of flights that do go in and out during the hours of the bash. But they will just come through the doors that they normally go through, and also for passenger traffic departing. And we work with the airlines to make sure that we coordinate it properly so that there's no inconvenience for the passengers.
Great. And I know that recently JetBlue finished up for the season. They finished up this past weekend. Will they be coming back next year? I know that's a big question in everybody's minds.
Yeah, JetBlue did finish on Sunday. That's the end of their 4th season with us, and unfortunately they shortened it up again this year, but we're hoping to expand in the future if we possibly can. And we have gotten word from their route planning people that they will be coming back next year. We just don't know what those dates are at this point. They don't really schedule that till sometime midwinter. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I think it was a big success this year. We only had one flight was canceled, and that was last week with a storm. It never got out of New York, and so there were some stranded passengers here, unfortunately. But they did finish the week up on Sunday with a good showing.
That's great, wonderful news. And not so wonderful news: the Centerville Pie is leaving the airport this week, and you're going to be looking for a new tenant in that space.
Yes, unfortunately, Centerville Pie gave us the word about a month ago that they just weren't getting the business that they thought they would get here, and so they're going to terminate at the end of this week. So if you want to get Centerville Pie at the airport, please come on down this week. They're open daily, only from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. this week, and then they'll close their doors for good here at the airport. Yeah. It's really a sad day because we really loved having them here, and I wish that we could have done more to keep them.
It's tough. Restaurant business is tough, as you're coming to learn, as being someone who's a landlord as such out at the airport.
I think yes, and I think keeping a restaurant here at the airport is very difficult. This will be our 3rd one since I've been here that has closed their doors. So there's a lot of competition in the area, and we don't get the foot traffic that we used to get. So, but we are looking maybe for something different and innovative that might be a draw. Okay. So we will be looking for some partners in the near future.
Wonderful. We'll keep our ears open for any announcements you have about that. Thank you, Bud, so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it.
Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
My guest today is Barnstable Municipal Airport Manager, Bud Brielt. Now let's get a look at this week's community calendar. The Sturgis Library's Lego Club will gather on the first Wednesday of every month from 4 to 5 p.m. Kids can use their assortment of design books for inspirations or bring concepts to life from their own imagination. This event is free, so drop on by for children 5 and older. The New Classics Company, known for their plays and improv performances, will have free improv comedy shows every Friday night at 7:30 in the Geyer Barn. The improv troupe changes on a weekly basis, so come for a laugh and help support them with a donation. All are welcome. Are you a member of the Barnstable High School class of 1977? If so, your 40th high school reunion is just around the corner. The reunion will take place on Saturday, September 21st at the Cape Codder in Hyannis. There will also be a meetup on Friday night, the 20th, as well as a golf outing on Saturday afternoon. For more information or to sign up, go to www.eventbrite.com and search for Barnstable. Now let's take a look at this week's board, committee, and commission schedule. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow with another great show for you. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Beal.